Miitopia is a fun game, I'm gonna be honest. It has many different worlds that you can explore, which is the main focus of the game. Exploring different worlds and saving the monsters and getting their faces back. But some worlds are good, some worlds are bad. So I want to rank them. I thought this would be a fun idea because everybody else has made their videos. I just want to share my opinion. Without further ado, let's jump into number 10. Miitopia. Such an odd world, hence the name. But it's honestly, there's nothing much to it, just a goofy world. Like, the only redeeming factor about this world is the teleport pads where we can go back to different areas, like this Wayward Woods from Greenhorn. There's only like two main areas of Miitopia too, the plains and the Eerie Road. Besides that, there's nothing much else to this world. I just don't like it. The music is and I don't really like the monsters too much. Let's move on to number 9. The first controversial one. I don't like Nimbus, I'm gonna be honest. I found this world pretty boring, even though it's kind of cool as in the sky. I like the music and the monsters, but it's just a bit short. And it doesn't really add much to the story. There's not too much interesting parts about it, too. It just doesn't grab me as much as some other worlds. Mainly because other worlds are being carried by aesthetic. And one world that number 8 is, it's getting carried by aesthetic here. There's like 2 main areas in this world. Nimbus and the cereal plant. Besides that, there's nothing much else to say about this world. It's solid, but it just isn't good enough. Alright, this is also kind of controversial. I like Powder Peaks. Well, I mean, this isn't that controversial. Just that people place it pretty low, mainly because it's short. Me personally, I like when the worlds are short. It's less effort. But, like, the aesthetic is carrying this world, I'm not gonna lie. But the monsters are also cool. The music, honestly one of the best battle themes in the entire game. Not the best, but one of the best. There's there's only like 2 main areas in this world too. Gone to Waste, Gone to Cave, which is not visible after completing the quest, and I don't even know how to pronounce it, but Chili Peak. But there's only 4 areas in Chili Peak, which kind of makes me sad because it's a really cool looking area. Now, let's move on to number 7. Honestly, I feel like I should change this position. Gallow Isle isn't that interesting, I'm gonna be honest. It's like, falls really short in comparison to its little, I would say, older brother, New Lumos. It's just kind of a bland post-game area. The only thing that carries is that you can unlock the new elf job. But at least there's, like, variety, because there's more areas, like the Seaside Grotto, Midland Marsh, and Uncharted Gyarados, which is where you unlock the elf. I like the challenge of Uncharted Gyarados, I'm not gonna lie, though. Let's move on to number 6. Alright, I'm gonna get a bit of hate with this one. I don't really like Low in the Fade that much. I would put it lower, but there's just so many worse worlds, I'm gonna be honest. Like, this is one of the very few that I dislike, but it's honestly getting carried by aesthetics. Similar to Powder Peaks. But it's still kind of cool. The monsters are good, the battle theme is amazing. And I also like the plot. The main reason why I have so many other worlds below this is because they don't contribute much to the plot at all. This is like one of the main 3 areas where you go. So, I mean, it's definitely a contributor to the plot. There's also quite a variety of places you can go. Beautiful looking places too. Like the Big Forest and the Lotus Lake, which is honestly one of the best looking areas in the entire game. If not the best looking area in the entire game. Let's move on to number 5. Next door is kind of a cool area. I've gotten to appreciate this. I didn't like it at first, mainly because your character is reset, and I don't really like desert areas in video games that much. But I've gotten to like it, mainly because I like the plot that much, because the genie's one of the few characters that actually have character development, which becomes a common theme later on. But, you know, it's the first time that a character has character development, and I like it. It also contributes to the plot, and there's also many different areas to explore, which I like. There's areas like the Underground Labyrinth, and the Great Pyramid, which is also kind of cool looking. Overall, X-Store is a pretty cool world. Let's move on to number 4 or 5. Oh yes, Greenhorn. Okay, honestly, nostalgia's carrying this. Miitopia is one of the games that I really got into. Like, I got this for my 8th birthday, and I was just hooked to it. I liked Greenhorn so much. I like the aesthetic, it's simple. I like how it's easier because it's made for beginners. But for replayability, this world is kind of mid. But there's so many different places to explore. Like, you have the Eastern Hills, you see the strange grove on the south of the screen, Castle View, Nightmare Tower, an Arid Frontier, Wayward Woods. There's so much to do here, and the plot's also kind of cool. And I kind of like it. It's also the first area of the game. Honestly, nostalgia and being the first area of the game are really carrying this. One little detail that I find very interesting: the sneak peek of Powder Peaks at the top of Arid Frontier. You can look out and then there's just the Powder Peaks, which is honestly interesting because, like, wow, I'm gonna be here, and it's kind of cool. I like this detail. Let's move on to number 3. New Lumos. I kind of said that the Gallows Isle is the little brother to this world, and I mean it. This world is so cool. You have 8 different districts to explore, but they're honestly all the same. I get sick really easily. But there's so many cool monsters here, even though they're kind of hard. There's also the Tower of Dread and Tower of Despair, which I didn't unlock at the time I was taking the screenshot. At the time of recording this, I did unlock the Tower of Dread, and I'm making my way through the 5th district, I think. But still, this is such a cool area to explore, and I really enjoy it. New Lumos? Oh yeah, and the battle theme, the aesthetic. I really like New Lumos. Let's move on to number 2. I should probably mention this at the start of the video, where I'm counting Skyscraper and Otherworld as one world, similar to how other YouTubers did it. But honestly, Skyscraper and Otherworlds are some of the best areas in the entire game. They're really cool, the aesthetic is pretty, and it's just really cool seeing all the bosses get stronger. Especially like the Greenhorn bosses, even though it's kind of a pushover still. And it's like, it's so cool. This is the final area of the game. And this detail before entering Otherworld, you just go on a straight pathway into it. I love it. I don't know why. There's so many subtle details I love about this game. And Otherworld is just really cool. There's so much. Well, there's not much to do in Otherworld, but, like, it's cool. The battle theme. Even the battle theme for, like, Otherworld and Skyscraper are so fire. The aesthetics are pretty. Everything's cool about them, even though there's not much areas to explore inside of them. As I said earlier, this is the final fight takes place, or where the final fight takes place. And it's honestly cool. Especially the Dark Lord's domain area. I like the walk there. Everything about this place is good, but it falls short in comparison to number 1, which you guys probably already know what it is. Number 1. Carcaton, oh Carcaton. I can rant about this place for hours. This is where you rescue your party members. This is where you fight the Dark Lord. This place is the most important place in the entire story. If this place was removed, and if it was just the Dark Lord, imagine this was just the Dark Lord's castle. This would be mad boring. And you save all your party panels in like a single castle. That would be kind of boring. But they just made this area perfect. There's so many things to explore. There's also like a castle view, the plains. It's just so cool. Need I even mention the Dark Lord's castle? This place is super cool. And I keep on saying cool, but like the aesthetics are pretty. The battle music is fire, and it just hits different. It's the most important place in the plot. You save your friends, you beat the Dark Lord. Everything is perfect about this area. And just seeing your friends in the Haven Hollow just hits different. It just hits different. I can't even explain it. But with that, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. Honestly, my opinions are kind of weird. Most people would disagree. But honestly, Miitopia is still a good game. I don't care if some of the worlds are boring. With that, thanks for watching.